So here we are with Frank McNeil, who is the Chief Strategy Officer for Action Ambulance Services. And we are going to talk about a campaign that the City of Holyoke is adapting, and it's an important effort to continue protecting the city with regards of the COVID-19 pandemic. And this is a campaign named Educate to Vaccinate. So Frank, thank you so much for being here with us. And if you can give us more details about this campaign.
It's really a pleasure to be with you today and be part of this campaign. We've really dug in and been part of this campaign since the beginning. As I'm sure you know, Holyoke was one of the communities that was blessed to be part of the equity vaccine program early on. And from the beginning, with the leadership that Sean showed from the Board of Health, we partnered right away with the city to jump in and become part of this campaign. And to our surprise, we took this on without a template. Nobody really knew the direction that this was going to take. So a lot of the first phone calls with Sean really were brainstorming about when we were going to get the vaccines, how we were going to pull it off, where we were going to hold the clinics. All of that was an unknown. But the current mayor at the time was Mayor Murphy, and he just gave the power of the city right over to Sean. And he took control of this, and we got the cooperation of the senior center, Holyoke Community College nursing program led by Tara Kavanaugh. They jumped in with volunteers, and we took off. And to our surprise, I think we vaccinated over 3,000 people early on. And I think the results have really proven to be very beneficial to the community. Through all of the controversy, I don't think that there's much debate about the value of the vaccine. And, what we try to focus on is the benefits of the vaccine. Those that are most high at risk really need to get out and get vaccinated. And those are, our senior citizens, the obese, anybody who's got secondary health concerns. The value of the vaccine cannot be debated. Even if you're unfortunate enough to get sick, we know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the symptoms are diminished and the outcomes are much better if you've been vaccinated. So this program, I'm truthfully just 100% behind, because Holyoke has a lot of those at-risk categories at play. We know, because we're out in the community every day. We respond to over 12,000 calls through the 911 system in Holyoke every year. And we see these folks every day. And we encourage them whenever we talk to them. You've got to get out and get vaccinated, because if you do get sick, this is the secret sauce. You're being offered this thing, no cost. It's free. So get out there and get this thing done.
At this point where we see that the number of cases are going lower and lower, and some restrictions have been lifted, there is this feeling of everything is now back to normal. But in reality, the pandemic is still ongoing. We may not be in an emergency status right now, but there's still precautions to be taken. So I feel this is a perfect time to remind people about still being cautious, and to also know what are the efforts being put in place right now for people who haven't yet been vaccinated to do so, get access to the vaccines, and even with testing being still available, not maybe in the same way it has been for the past months, but still there is testing available. So what are those efforts being put in place right now for the public?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The media has put out a narrative that has led an awful lot of people believe that this is over. And to a large extent, certainly we're seeing the cases go down. But to your point, we held a clinic this past week at the library in Holyoke, co-hosted by Mayor Garcia. He sat and spoke with the folks that came through. It was a really great event. However, the attendance at this event was not what we would have liked. So, I do urge people to not think this thing is over just yet. And in the city of Holyoke, we'll continue to hold pop-up clinics if the need arises, but there's still an infrastructure in place. Your CVS's, your Walgreens, your Stop and Shops, the Holyoke Community College, War Memorial. They're still active in this war. So if you need to get vaccinated, just contact CVS, Walgreens, Stop and Shops. There's still plenty of resources available in the community on a day-to-day basis for you to go get vaccinated. But we are keeping a close eye on these other variants. We have access to vaccines from the state at a moment's notice. And if the need arises, we can go right back in and run clinics like we did in the summer, because this time we do have a prototype to follow. We do have the game plan in place, and we have all of the resources available to us at a moment's notice. So, again, you can't urge people enough. If you're in those at-risk categories, you really need to go out and get vaccinated.
As part of the efforts as well for this campaign is being encouraging some industries and business places to give information and to allow people to get vaccinated if they need to do so. How can people get more information to either provide information to their employees if they're business owners or business managers, and for the public to get to learn more about all the benefits of the vaccines at this moment?
Well, I think, there's still a variety of sources. Certainly, Sean, at the Board of Health is a great resource. There's state websites that explain where you can get access to these vaccines. You could contact our company, and we have on occasion gone out and done residents who have been unable to go to clinics. So, there are still a lot of resources out there. And as far as information goes, there's all kinds of stuff on the web available to folks to resource. But again, I think most of it really should focus on those at risk, because those are the folks that we're out picking up in the neighborhoods and bringing to the hospital because they just haven't had the foresight to go out there and get vaccinated.
Is there anything else that you would like to add?
No, I guess in closing, really seriously, it has been a pleasure to be part of this effort. For our employees, we normally see people under stressful situations. When people dial 911, our crews are jumping in their trucks and they're racing to their address with lights and sirens. And our providers have a wide variety of skill sets that they don't always get to use. So our ability to get out into the community and provide these vaccinations has allowed our crews to sit in an orderly, confined area where you can have a face-to-face conversation with somebody about their healthcare needs. And it's more preventative medicine that they're all capable of providing, but often don't get the chance to do. So we're always constantly trying to look at the bright side of being in the middle of a pandemic, because that's how you keep employees motivated and you keep them enthused about coming to work every day. But the greater picture here in the city of Holyoke is the vibe is good right now. I think that the people are feeling good about themselves, and they're going to be out and about. This past weekend we saw hundreds of thousands of people out for the St. Patrick's Day parade, but we know coming up is Celebrate Holyoke. We know the Puerto Rican festival's coming, and we know there are going to be great crowds that are going to take advantage of that great vibe that's going on in the city of Holyoke right now. And along with it comes that little risk. And I think taking that second to get out there and take that vaccine is going to make us all feel a little bit better and a little bit safer about going out and enjoying this great city of ours.
Well, thank you so much. This is Frank McNeil, Chief Strategy Officer of Action Ambulance Services. Thank you for this information and for your everyday work.
Couldn't be happier to be with you. Thanks a lot.